Today, Sunday, is the wedding day of Michael and his bride Jessie. And on this day, Jessie woke up from sleep, feeling sick, complaining to her mother about a lot of fatigue. She was feeling pains all over her body and told her mother about a strange night that Jessie had spent. And she said to her mother when she entered her room to sleep, she felt something strange in the room, a strange spirit. But she didn't care about these things. She is happy. This is her wedding day for the person she loved dearly, and he lives in a big house with a spacious garden near her house. Jessie had equipped this beautiful house with the latest expensive furniture. She lives in a big house too, and luxurious because her family is very wealthy. Her father's house has a large garden where the wedding will take place. The family has prepared the house for this happy occasion, and the family has invited friends and relatives from both families. Jessie had brought the beautiful white wedding dress and left it in her bedroom until the next evening, and Michael also brought the wedding suit. And Jessie's mother made all the preparations from a large and elegant buffet in the garden of the house, and the garden had a view of the sea, and the waves were intense that night. And when the sun went down, Jessie went in to rest in her room and sat on her bed, and she felt someone sitting next to her, but she didn't see him. And when she touched the bed, she found it warm as if someone was sitting on it. Jessie felt scared and terrified of these strange sensations, but she was tired, so she fell asleep. And she saw in her dream a tall and black ghost wearing a black cloak and holding a big stick in his hand. And then he sat next to her, and he told her, "I love you, and I want to marry you, and you will never marry anyone else." So she was afraid of this scary thing, and he pressed her hand hard, and he said to her in a thick voice, "Think about it until tomorrow." And she woke up terrified of this nightmare. When she entered the bathroom, she saw the same ghost again, but this time she was awake. She screamed and fainted inside the bathroom, and the ghost called out to her in a terrifying voice. She heard, but she could not move from her place, and after a while, her mother entered Jessie's room and found her lying on the floor and tried to help her. She could not, so she brought the doctor and getting ready for the party. And she sat down, and the coiffeur did her hair, in addition to an aesthetic touch of makeup, and she was very pretty, and her dress was beautiful, and she was a dazzling bride, and everyone was in great joy, and happiness flooded the house. And Michael came with his family, and when everyone came out to greet Michael, they left Jessie alone in the room. And suddenly, in a few seconds, the ghost appeared from the mirror surrounded by thick smoke and said to her, "You are mine, and not to anyone else. And I had already warned you, but you didn't hear me," and bewitched her in the form of a black bride in a black dress. And when Michael entered the room to take his bride, he found only this doll bride, and he said to Jessie's mother, wondering where Jessie is, and mother said to him, "I don't know, this doll is wearing Jessie's dress, but it's black." So everyone started calling out to Jessie, and she was trying to speak and calling out, "I'm Jessie, I'm Jessie." And Michael got scared, and he looked pale, almost fainted from the shock. So he ran out of the room and left this black bride, and the mother said, wondering, "Who are you?" The bride replied, "I'm Jessie," but the mother was not convinced, and she said to Jessie with fear and tears in her eyes, pointing to the mirror, "Look at yourself in the mirror." And Jessie looked at herself and collapsed crying from shock and ran out to the garden behind Michael. But she hit something hard that knocked her down, and she found the ghost standing on top of a high tree, and she's the only one who sees it. And from here, Jessie realized that she had inevitably become a prisoner, and that her place was not among her friends and family, and she wouldn't be able to marry a man at all. So she walked with heavy steps as if, at night, she went to a scary forest located just steps from her house and completely disappeared, and no one has seen her since this day.